Hi there. My name is Sherry Robbins, and I am one of the therapists at the Center for Family Transformation. As of now, we are several weeks into the stay-at-home order, and for those of us with children who've been in school, we've been trying to figure out how to be teachers on top of being parents. And for those of us who have to now work from home, we're trying to figure out how to work from home without the distractions of everyone else that is at home at the same time. This situation feels overwhelming to so many people. I've been seeing clients through teletherapy during the pandemic, and I've noticed a common struggle that most are experiencing. In the midst of having so much time on our hands, we're actually struggling to get things done in a timely manner. This is happening to people of all ages. Kids are struggling to get their schoolwork done, and adults are sitting down at the end of the day going, what did I possibly get done? I should have gotten way more done than I did. And this happens for a number of reasons. With the added stress of adjusting to so much change in such a short time, anxiety levels have been increasing. Anxiety can cause a number of symptoms, like mental confusion, foggy thinking, forgetfulness, difficulty concentrating. And there are other reasons why people struggle to focus and complete tasks. Things like boredom, lack of stimulation, lack of social interaction, lack of movement, and depressed mood. There are other reasons, but that was just a few. And these are very real experiences for people during the season. If you or anyone in your home is struggling in this way, I have a few tips that might be helpful and make a difference. The first is an app that you can get to set time intervals that will help keep you on task. If you are a Mac user, then I suggest the app Be Focus Pro. It costs $1.99 and it's an amazing little app. If you use PC or if you use Mac, you can get a free app called Focus Booster. The idea of using apps like these is that you can work in intervals. Say you set a 60-minute timer and decide to focus and complete as much of an assignment, a task, as possible in that time. Then you give yourself a 10-minute break before you work another 60 minutes. If you plan to try this with children and teens, then obviously you have to adjust the time for an age-appropriate time for them. And during your 10-minute break, you'll also want to set a timer for that break so that you don't go over your break. And the whole idea during the break is to get up and move. Do something different other than sitting, and give yourself a brief break from the intensity of concentration. And after your break, you go right back into your task without distractions. And one thing that I think is helpful, if you struggle with staying focused during your 60-minute interval, and maybe it's because other to-do list items keep popping in your mind, keep a little notebook handy, or your phone, or something like a document or a note on your computer, that if something like that comes to mind, like say a grocery item that you need to remember to buy or a bill you need to remember to pay, write it down in one of those places so that later you can have access to it. What will happen is that your mind will be able to then go back to focusing on your task because it won't be working so hard to try to remember those other items. So in addition to working in intervals and taking brief breaks, you also want to set times for having a snack or a meal, and you also want to build in rewards for yourself. If you set a goal to complete everything that you need to get done in a certain amount of time, then come up with a reward beforehand that you will give yourself once you meet your goal. I've had a client in the past who loved candles, and she came up with this idea that she was going to buy this expensive candle that she had been wanting for a long time. And anytime she met her goal, she would reward herself by lighting her candle and sitting and enjoying the fragrance and the ambiance. maybe you don't like candles and that doesn't seem like a good reward for you, but maybe you enjoy going on a walk or sitting and reading a pleasure book, and drinking a cup of coffee, or watching a 30-minute show. Whatever you decide, make sure you don't reward yourself until you've done what you promised yourself you would do. If you can set up a work from home or a homeschool routine like this, you'll become more productive and have more time to enjoy what you really want to do. I hope you find these tips helpful for you. And like we've mentioned before, if you feel like you need help and you need to talk with someone, you can find our information at familytransformation.com. You can give us a call, send us an email, and make an appointment with one of our amazing therapists.